Well, hello everyone. I'm in BOCAS del Toro in Panama. We've got no one joining me yet. Maybe Scott might join. Apparently Hannah can't because I think it's her mum's birthday or something. And obviously our wonderful friend Mike is in a hospital ward at the moment, recuperating from his big operation, his big clandestine MI6 CIA operation, Ocean's 11, one might say, on Tuesday. So he won't be here this week, but maybe next week we'll be able to have our old friend Mike Dixon. But who we do have, we've got Diz. Hey Diz, how's it going? We've also got Downer Shed. We've got Andy. We've got One Angry Pagan. We've got Chris C. We've got Sarah Davis in there, SG as well, Blue Badger. Hello. Unfortunately, I haven't brought my bit of driftwood with me that says Super Chat. But what I have got actually here on this setup is the word Super Chat, which will come up on the screen of my face if someone drops a Super Chat in there. I'm going to make the goal amount just anything and just one Super Chat at the moment because I don't think I'm on my own worth that much. So. Who knows? But if you just get one Super Chat in, I will launch the confetti cannon. We've got the confetti cannon back, which is good. I'm sorry, that was a really hectic setup here. I'm only, what is it? I can only go as long as my battery lasts on my laptop. Okay, so if my battery on my laptop dies, it's a boat leaving. We've got 1 hour and 3 minutes. Okay, so we're not going to have a really long show today, unless I can find somewhere to plug in. I guess in this place where I am, we're trying to look under the tables. I'm in a place called Chitra, the Chitra Hotel, Chitra restaurant, where they don't serve alcohol. So I'm drinking a Coca-Cola. It's a weird drink that they have in Central America. Apparently it's made from the same plant that you get cocaine from. I know. The indigenous cultures are very creative in what they come up with. Perhaps there's a forehead tattoo of Super Chat and confetti on the forearm. That'd be a good idea. If I was feeling a little bit crazy. It's interesting to see what Panama looks like. Oh, well, I'll show you then. I'll show you if you're going to be like that. So over here we have, this is the restaurant I'm in. This is a local restaurant for local people. It's come on, this isn't a baddies layer from Batman in the 1960s. Can we have a bit of levity here? Not levity, levelty. So that's what it looks like where I am. I've consciously picked somewhere that's quiet, has no music playing, has decent internet, and I'm not annoying other people by talking too loudly into my camera. If I go this way, you'll see out into the water, actually over the water at the moment. Not like Birkenhead. I mean, there's oh God, go down, Graham. So I'm trying to operate my camera while I'm talking to you there. You can see the water. There you go. Unfortunately for you, not for me, but for you, we are next to one of the busiest boat docks in BOCAS. So there's going to be boats toing and froing with very noisy engines over the next hour or so. So you can look forward to that. That'll be fun. What I'm going to do in order to try and mitigate the problems with the internet, the amount of the amount of pardon me, the amount of battery I've got left, I will endeavour to just close some things down on my laptop that I don't actually need, and I'll turn the brightness down on my screen in a moment once I've closed. What am I closing? Malware bytes. No, quit malware bytes. Do not need malware bytes. No, go away. And then what else have I got here? OSB bot, I need that, that's my camera. Zoom, need that. OBS Studio, need that. Intel driver and support assistant, do not need that. I'm a bit scared to sort of click on it. Oh, there you go, exit. Okay, cool. Right, that's all my background processors hopefully closed. Who else have we got in the chat? We've got Chris C in there. Coca-Cola did originally have cocaine in it, it did. True story, bro. Let's have a look at the I feel like I'm a bit hot. I need to turn the anti-flicker up to 60 hertz because we are now in an American influenced country rather than the British influenced country. I'm going to bring down the contrast a little bit because I think that's a bit mad. There you go, it's 50-50. That's normal. White balance, I've got it on auto. Should be all right. I've got it on auto exposure. I've put the compensation up. Oh God, that's why I put the compensation up. Okay, that's interesting. I think it's a bit too high though. I appear to be. There you go. A bit washed out there. Looking a bit washed out. Hello. Hi, Billy. Do you know what? Normally on these shows, I make the effort to go online and actually, do a bit of research before I come on. I usually got not like a script, but I got like notes or something. So I don't have that because I've been running around like a goddamn maniac for the last couple of hours or so. I don't know if any of you saw this afternoon. I was attacking my floor of my house with a crowbar. No, with a hammer. Actually, I didn't need a crowbar. So if you want to see the result of that, because I realised I ended the stream and I needed to go get a bucket to put the rubble in. Pardon me. And so I ended the stream, right? And then I thought, actually, it would have been quite satisfying for everyone to see like all the rubble cleaned up at the end there. So I've put that on as a post. So if you want to see that as a post, you can see that as a post on this channel. Graham, what's your favourite avian dinosaur that is common to your island and the surrounding areas? I know, I'm obsessed with zoology, lol. We have Panamanian flycatchers here, which are beautiful birds. They're really, really beautiful. I don't know if they're the ones that make this really crazy call. There's a crazy call, and it's like a bird call that is just absolutely nuts, and I can't reproduce it. The only way I can describe it to you is to say, does anyone remember the series Police Academy in the 1980s? Remember that guy in Police Academy who could make all kind of weird noises with his mouth? Yeah, so now imagine there was a bird that could do that. And that's what the bird sounds like. And I think it's a Panamanian flycatcher. It might not be. I don't know. But I do like the parrots. I do like the pelicans because they are just huge and scary and cool. I would really like to see a toucan at some point. I don't think I'd ever get a toucan on my island. They need dense jungle, I think, for their habitat. This isn't really their scene over here. And chickens, I used to have 12 chickens and they all had names, so I love them. They were great. Used to wake up in the morning, wake me up, give me a few eggs. There's quite a few species of parrots, especially in that part of the world. Yes, there are. For fuck's sake, Royal Mail are whacking their prices up next. Well, so I finished doing the floor, right? And then Ishmael came down because he was working at the boat dock, but he needed the generator. Because he needs to use some power tools, and basically he ran out of power. So he came back down just as I finished, actually. And I'd already cleared up by then, mostly. And then, he chipped away at some of the little bits of cement that were left. And then we started making our way over here to BOCAS. And the thing is, right, when you're doing like a show or something, you've got to remember your laptop. You've got to remember your little silver box. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. I don't mind you seeing how the sausage is made. Hang on. So here we go. So I've got to remember this little silver box. What's this little silver box for, Graham? Well, it's just so I can plug. Oh God, I'm seeing the top of my laptop here. This isn't working the way I thought it would. I've not even been drinking. So I need the silver box that plugs into the USB-C. Otherwise, I can't actually hear anyone who's speaking to me. So I need that. I need my microphone here. I need my phone, obviously. I need all the cables. I need to remember this headphone that's in my ear in case someone turns up on the show. I've got to remember all that. I've got to remember the power cable for my laptop, but there's nowhere to plug it in. So how long have we got left? I'll tell you now. We've got 59 minutes left, so that's good. I think I eked out a little bit more time by pissing around with the old what was open. And do you know what? Sometimes I have it on autofocus. I'm not going to have it on autofocus. Shut up. There's some people making a hell of a noise. Why are you making so much noise? They're having a good time. How dare they have a good time on a boat? They're having a little sing-song over there. So yeah, I had to get all that. I also had to bring my tripods, and I've got my camera. It comes in this little thing here. This is my little camera that sits on top of my phone. My laptop. Also needed extra cables. I brought my spare mouse so I could use my mouse so I'm not annoying everyone by touching the screen or touching the keyboard on the screen. So there's that, and then I've got the power thing for my phone in case my phone runs out of power. And this is quite cool because it's got a solar panel on that side, and you can turn it on and it's a really bright light. So, you know, if it gets too dark, I might use that. I might just hold that in front of me. So I've got all this stuff, right, and I've got my gorilla pods, I've got my tripods, I've got the little thing that goes on top of the tripod, you know, the little plate that you need, because sometimes if you forget that, you're in loads of trouble. So got all this stuff together, right, quick smart, like double quick smart, and then, right, we trundle down to the boat dock, we jump in the boat, and we're on our way to BOCAS town, when I realised that I've got my hat, I've got my gilet, or whatever you want to call it, and you know, that's all good. I haven't got my wallet though, have I? Haven't got my wallet. Didn't think to bring my wallet to BOCAS town with me, and I had lots of wood to buy and lots of things to get from the hardware store, like extension cables and things. Didn't think about that, did I? No. So had to turn around the boat about the quarter of the way to BOCAS. Had to turn around the boat and go back to get my wallet, and then I had to come back into town. We had to go to Richard's hardware store and get some wood. Order that. That's off at the boat dock now, waiting to be put on the Ginger Ninja, my boat, my panga. And then we had to go to the hardware store, the other hardware store, and get a bunch of stuff that was on our list. Me and Ishmael, we both had a list of stuff that we needed. So that was all got, and then I literally ran from there, from the hardware store, because by then it was like 9:20 your time, and I really needed to get the show started. So I ran, and I wanted to get some dim sum, because the supermarkets around here sell dim sum at the checkout, and you can get like a little bag of dim sum, and they put in soy sauce and BOCAS hot sauce into it. It's the best thing ever if you like your pork dumplings, which I do. Unfortunately, went in about 6 different supermarkets and they've stopped doing it. It's like my favourite thing about this place, and they've stopped doing it. So I was a bit upset about that. But then, right, volume shift. Oh, sorry. Is that a problem? Is the volume not working? Sorry, it's because I moved things. Should never move things. So then I managed to go to the last supermarket along the road that I thought might actually have this stuff, and they did. So I got 4 of them. I put them in my face as quickly as I could, but they were super freaking hot, so I kind of burnt the inside of my mouth, and then legged it into here, just hoping against hope that this would be the place that there wouldn't be too many people around, although the boats are noisy, and I'll be able to do my stream from here. So that was it, and then I legged it, and I made it. Got the thumbnail out. It's a default thumbnail. There's a guy just over there. He's got a Yamaha Enduro 40 horsepower engine, and he's just making a big load of noise at the moment, and actually covering this entire area where people are eating with toxic smoke. So that's nice. Can you fuck off? Can you keep going? Can you just go on? Off you fuck. Bye. Go on. Bye. Go on. Keep going. Keep going out of here. Keep going. Oh, mate. Oh, it's giving me a headache. That's not good. Anyway, I just got gassed. Just got gassed by someone who's just sitting there with his engine running on his boat. Not moving, just sitting there with his engine running. Because, you know, you got to do that, haven't you? It's like whenever I was crossing borders, right, anywhere in the world, and there's always trucks all along the border. And no matter what the temperature was outside, you know, it could be quite a pleasant day. They would have their engines running so they could have their aircon on inside. Even if it was like, I don't know, 20 degrees, it was fine. You know, it was fine. Engine on, every single one. Big row of 80 trucks coming across from Bolivia into Peru, up in the mountains. Where I was coming in from Iraq into Turkey. Just a huge queue of trucks going in from Lithuania into Belarus. Just huge, fucking hundreds of trucks, side of the road, all but their engines on, all just belching out the most disgusting smelling and toxic chemicals you could possibly ingest. Anyway, so yeah, the tropical mockingbird is native to Panama. Could be that that you're hearing. I don't know. I mean, it makes a crazy noise. It makes crazy noises. It makes a noise that sounds like part of it. So it's like a loop, 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 loop noise, and then it makes this noise that sounds like paper being rustled together, like a noise, but it sounds like paper being rustled together, or sandpaper being rustled together, and then it goes whoop, whoop, whoop noise. It just makes all these crazy noises like in a row. And it always does them in the same order. It's like 4 or 5 different noises it makes, and it does them in the same order. It's kind of crazy. But that's my fave. Might be the mockingbird. Who knows? Wonder if all G's henchmen wear a hat. Yes, absolutely. Everyone should wear a hat all the time, forever. That would be good if people would do that. So we'll talk a little bit about the news, and obviously if I'm not getting joined by anyone, I will just talk for an hour, and then we'll sack this thing off. But yeah, we should talk a little bit about the news, because it is like the magpie noise. I don't know. Imagine me as a Terminator, says person impersonator. Chrissy says, as a business account customer, they hammer me with a fuel surcharge, a green surcharge and VAT. I hate that. That's just greenwashing, isn't it? Isn't it? That's just greenwashing. Everyone knows. It's just bullshit. It's just absolute fucking bullshit. Top to bottom, left to right. A green levy. You know, like what do they spend it on? Carbon capture, right? So what happens is, this carbon capture, no, it's even better. What they do is carbon offset. That's even more hilarious than carbon capture. So carbon capture, even if it was working at the way it should, it would only capture less than a 1,000th of 1% of all the carbon dioxide that we put into the air every day. Even if there was like hundreds of these plants all over the world. I mean, the amount that it will take out in the atmosphere is so negligible, it's painful, okay? But then also you got this carbon offset thing, and what they do is there'll be some nepo baby rich kid in America, like uptown New York, right? And they will have a big forest, right? That was given to them by their mummy and their daddy. They inherited a massive fucking forest, and what they do is they go to these airline companies and to the fuel companies or whatever, and they say, if you give me money from your customers, I won't chop down my forest. And they go, oh cool, you won't chop down your forest. That sounds great to me. So we'll give you loads of money to not chop down your forest that you weren't going to chop down anyway. And then they call it carbon offsetting. It's pure greenwashing bullshit. I had someone today on my Facebook putting something up about, when we go net zero, we'll all be living in caves. And I'm like, mate, no. We're actually the opposite, absolute the very opposite of that. We won't be beholden to some crazed warlords living in West Asia. Darian, oh my God, Darian, you absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much. Mega chat, you've made it all worth it. Thank you so much for the mega chat. That is awesome. Thank you. Buy something for Mike and tell him Politics Social loves him. Oh, Darian, that's so kind. And I have exactly what I know what I'm going to get him. I just have to make sure that he's going to be home for me to send it to him, but I have got something in mind for Mike, absolutely, and the cost of it is about 50 quid, I think, so that works perfectly. Thank you so much, Darian. I absolutely 100% sort that out, and if you send me an email, I'll let you know what it is. But I want it to be a surprise. He might already have one of the things that I'm going to send him, but it's one of those things where you can have more than one. It's fine, you know, it's fine, everything's fine. And that is really, really kind of you, Darian. You are an absolute star. The Lyrebird. Hey, did I ever tell you the time that I went to a fancy dress party when I was a small child, and it was a musical fancy dress party? You had to dress like a musical instrument, and I went as a harp. And I opened they opened the door at the party, and they said, "What are you dressed as?" And I said, "I'm dressed as a harp." And they went, "You're too small to be a harp." And I said, "Are you calling me a liar?" Yeah. Squeaky tank. Yeah. Squeaky tank. Cool. Right, so harps are cool, yes. Squeaky tank, demanded by Diz. You got your squeaky tank. And also, because of Darian's really kind and delightful contribution there, I'm gonna move my camera a little bit so there's a bit more darkness behind me because I have a feeling you might not be able to see it otherwise. But here we go. We're gonna launch the confetti in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Confetti! Woo, 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 yeah! Yeah, we got the confetti. We got the confetti. Yeah, the confetti. Cool. So thanks so much to Darian for triggering that. I'll set that up again in case everyone else wants to drop in a super chat. So yeah, all a bit hectic getting started here, but we are going to be time limited by how much power I have left on my laptop. Let's see what it's saying now. Don't click on it. You got to hover, not click. Hover, not click. 48 minutes. You got me for 48 minutes more. Last night when I was streaming from my laptop, from my phone, that was hilarious, wasn't it? I was streaming from my phone, and it literally just ran out of batteries. It just went, I'm not doing this anymore, which was hilarious. Spike, squeaky. Diz is very excited about all the confetti. Also purchased a train ticket for 2 weeks to Stoke-on-Trent as a cardiology appointment, £13 day return. That's about what it should be. I don't know where you're coming from, but that doesn't sound too bad unless you're coming from, I don't know, Manchester, and that seems a bit much. But then I think that a lot of the cost of transport in the UK is insane. It's absolutely insane. A return from Liverpool to Durham costing well over, like, what was it, 120 quid now, 130 quid? Kind of crazy. Squeaky, 3D printed hobbit hole sounds like a fantastic idea. Ooh, if you ever meet a hobbit, ask him to show you his hole. Because a hobbit's hole means comfort. Apparently. I was in the bank, got robbed by an elephant. Cop said, would you recognise him? I said, no, he had a stocking on his head. That's fair enough. I like that. Thanks for that, Pete's Music. Very good. We've also got Andy saying, ha ha. Is Mike watching? Is Mike out there? Is Mike watching this? Did someone say that Mike was watching this? I don't know if Mike's left a message, but if you are watching this from your Hozzy bed, Mike, hello. Tell me if Mike is out there and you can text. I have a question. Can the other people in the ward hear what I'm saying? That's my question to you, mate. So yeah. Well, that's really kind. Cavan lad, look at that. He just put Cavan lad just put in just £2, right? Which is really nice for a super chat, and that alone has triggered the confetti. We're just throwing the confetti around today. Right? Going mental for the confetti. We love the confetti. It's all good. Make the confetti happen. Make it happen. It's all good. Right. Okay. So I'm going to close that now. But yeah, that's really kind. Thank you. Oh, do you know what? It didn't actually happen. It didn't happen in the chat. Why did it not happen? I don't know. There's a guy. He's got a cigar. He's shouting. I don't know why that didn't come up as a super chat, mate. I'm really sorry. It says I can't start it because there's already one started. That's all right. Breaking news, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister earlier warned European nations that they will become a legitimate target to become a war involved in a US and Israel's war on Tehran. Yeah, war's not going well, is it? Although it's not a war, because Trump promised to stop all the wars, didn't he? He was going to come and stop all the wars. That's why FIFA, the football people, that's why the people at the football people gave him a trophy, which is a bit like your sports teacher giving you like an A level for politics. For A level and saying you can have an A, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, what did I do? You were very good at sports. Did I play any sports? No, you didn't play any sports because you're a big horrible fat mountain of shite. And yeah, but here's a prize. You get a prize for the thing that you didn't do. But apparently he brought peace to the world by aggressively attacking, I think, 8 or 9 different countries now. But the way you get around it when he says, oh, I'm not interested in starting wars, I'm all about not starting wars, is you do what Putin does. You say, oh, it's not a war, it's a special military operation. It's a limited incursion. It's not genocide, it's ethnic cleansing. It's not murder, it's just, surprise unaliving. I mean, attempted murder, is that even a crime? Do they give prizes for do they give Nobel Prizes for attempted chemistry? I think not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a super sticker. Maybe only super chats trigger it. Says Cavan. Oh, that might be it. Well, you got the animation on the screen anyway, so that's good. Had an idea of recreating Scarra Bray style houses if I can get enough stone. And it could be a thing. It could be. Saz is straight in there with a £2 super chat. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Saz. And that also triggers the confetti. We're going to go mad for the confetti this evening, because we've only got a limited amount of time together, and we may as well make the most of it. So I'm talking to you. I'm not necessarily having a conversation with anybody else like I normally do on the Friday night social. So we are socialising. And I'm in Panama. I mean, I've got to say, right, as things go, isn't this amazing? Isn't this absolutely amazing that we can do this? That I can set this up, just walk into a restaurant, in a local restaurant in Panama, and stream to the world, like broadcast to the world from my laptop. I just don't think that's just fucking amazing. I just think it's like, I just take a step back and go, how is that even possible? That is crazy. Like 30 years ago, to do this exact thing would take days to set up. When I was, oh, there's a helicopter, there's a jellybopter. Look at this. Well, I don't know what this helicopter's doing. It's just coming to check on us. But there is actually, oh God, go the right way, going. Quick, you're gonna miss it. There is a helicopter up in the sky there. Ah, shit. Image, turn off the auto exposure. What is even happening now? Oh, sorry, auto exposure. Oh, okay, can't see it. Well, that didn't work, did it? Stupid thing was overexposed. Well, you can hear it. I think you can hear it. I can hear it. Maybe it's off to Iran. I don't know. Maybe it's looking for drugs for Donald Trump. Big fan of the drugs, Mr. Donald Trump. No signal delay or anything, streamed in real time. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, there is a delay in the fact that I put a delay on this because I want subtitles. So there's like a 20-second delay. I think it's not very much. I used to think it was like 30 seconds. It's less than that. It's like 16, 17 seconds or something, and that allows the subtitles to come up. And I know the subtitles when you're watching it live are a little bit off. It's usually like a couple of seconds after I say something, but it's still, I mean, that as well, having subtitles coming up on a live broadcast that you're doing. You know, I could be streaming here, I could be talking to Mikey in America, I could be talking to you know, one of my friends in Hong Kong, I could be talking to like someone in Germany and someone in the UK, and we could all be just talking on Zoom, and then I could be broadcasting it out to you. I mean, just wow, it's just cool. Graham run its ice. It's okay. I have my residency. I'm all right. Also, I'm not the type of person that they normally go for, unless they want to shoot me dead. I mean, you know, then they will go for me because, you know, I'm white. But talking of American exceptionalism, stroke brutalism, I see that they've got rid of Kirsty Nome. I mentioned this last night in the stream. I was actually knocking down the old chicken coop on the island when I found out about this in the chat. And do you know what? Before it just started that, I just checked on the news to see if there was anything up, you know, what was going on. And this was really frustrating because it was like, I was like, okay, you know, you need to tell me what's happening. Because I'm in Panama, the BBC goes to BBC World and it gives you adverts and stuff. It gives you a different website than you get in the UK when you look on in the UK, right? So I'm looking at, and I'm just like, there wasn't anything there, do you know, anything new. And it wasn't until after the show that I looked again, and I had to scroll down a bit to find the Kirsty Nome story about her being kicked out of the administration. It was a bigger story in the US, it was a bigger story in the UK, but apparently the BBC didn't think I needed to know about it. James Horner, the famous composer, thank you very much for your confetti there. That is very kind of you. James Horner, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate that. Did you see that the US Secretary of Defense celebrate sinking an Iranian ship? It was like a 12-year-old playing Call of Duty. America's now ridiculous. Oh, mate, don't get me started on that. So that ship, it turns out, they were doing joint military exercises with Iran and the Yanks. So that's how the Yanks knew where it was, because they were doing joint military exercises. They had a parade in India. It was part of, you know, all working together, right? And that's how the Yanks knew where it was, off the coast of Sri Lanka. and they destroyed it, and they didn't save the sailors out the water. I think 172, last I read, sailors have been killed in that action, just innocent people who were just working, doing their jobs, and the Yanks come along and slaughter them all. Because that's what Americans do these days. I don't know. I think they're going around like that guy from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy who like insults everyone in the universe in alphabetical order. I think that's what they're going for at the moment, and it's really fucking grim. It's really fucking grim. So yeah, we have an international pub night with some Canadians we met in Mexico. They're so cool, Andy. I love that as well. You know, the friends you meet when you're on the road, who stay friends. You'll be okay if they don't check your phone. Lol. Oh yeah, L. I've got a second phone, you know, just for that. Just an empty phone with like a Vodafone SIM in it that looks innocent enough, not logged into anything. Yeah, the cow got took out at the back and shot. Liam, yeah, well, she's famous for killing a puppy because the puppy displeased her. She looked at it and it was a cute puppy and she found it annoying, possibly because it was innocent and a puppy, and she shot it to death. Because that's, you know, these are the people representing America around the world now. You've got Jeffrey Epstein, Kristi Noem, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, JD Vance, the sofa fucker. So now everyone just thinks America's a bunch of, you know, inbred trailer trash. Hey, listen, I'm not saying that. It's just the impression that they're giving off to everyone who cares to pay attention. One are you paying? Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. I hear Iraqi Kurds are massing to go into Iran. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. That's very kind of you. I'm a bit perturbed by this, right? Thank you for the super chat. I'm just going to move that down so as I cover my face. If I was in Iraqi Kurdistan, right, in the north, in Erbil or Suleimania, I would not be even dreaming of that. That's the maddest thing they could possibly do. Because don't forget, it was the Kurds in Syria who were abandoned by the Americans, by Trump, when they were fighting against the al-Assad regime, which subsequently fell. But they were working with the Americans fighting ISIS and the al-Assad regime. And the Yanks just left them high and dry under Trump and left thousands of them to be shot dead, tortured, murdered, raped. Yeah, so that happened in northern Syria. So, I mean, the idea that we'll go in, and then there's the point that Iran, I think, like, most Americans couldn't tell you where Iran was on a map, right? No way, Jose, right? They have no idea how big it is. And like I keep saying, it's twice as big as Ukraine. It's a huge fucking country. It's 3 times as big as Iraq. It's got 90 million people living there. That's nearly a third more than in the UK. That is a lot. That is a fuckload of people. And there's a fuckload of cities, fuckload of places, and America just does not have enough conventional weapons. Does not have enough conventional weapons. And if a small contingent of Kurds decide to invade in the north, they're just going to die. And then on the way back, it'll be like World War I again, where they turn around and come back, and then they're all shot by the commanders, who'll be Americans, who say, "Oh, don't run backwards, you cowards! Yeah, have a gun to the, have a bullet to their head." I'm honestly, like, it would be the stupidest thing that the Kurds could possibly do. At the moment, Kurdistan, you know, things aren't perfect there in northern Iraq, but it has been a semi-autonomous region of, and fairly peaceful region of Iraq since 1991. And I can, at the moment, I wish people would just go, okay, we'll just take that for now. In the future, there might be more places that we can, you know, call a homeland in northern Iran or in eastern Turkey, you know. But as things stand, that would be horrifically daft of them. Like, from my point of view, from my privileged white patronizing patriarchal fucking point of view, and I know that I'm biased, I know that I'm whatever, but I've been to Kurdistan, I've been to Iran. Most people who are commenting on this haven't been to either of those places, so I do have a slight leg up, just, I'm not saying that I'm an expert in any way, shape or form. I've got a slight leg up on other people, because here's the thing, like, context is everything. And this is why I'm less afraid of AI than others, because other people whose job doesn't involve context in any way, they're really fearing for their job at the moment. I don't think they should. I think people working in data, people working in cartography, map making, people who make charts, people who gather information, I don't think there's anything to be feared from AI, because AI is shite at doing that kind of thing. AI still can't draw you a map of anything, of literally anything. It couldn't draw you a realistic, a useful, functional map of your house, never mind the city of London, right? Then you've got the issue that, that I always push back on, which is that it has no sense of context. None at all. And when I say that, I mean, there'll be people thinking, well, are you talking about, like, no sense of context, so do you think that, like, it doesn't have the whole breadth of human knowledge? And I'm like, well, maybe it does. Maybe it's got every single Wikipedia page, right? But there's knowledge that you have that you never read in a book, that you never read on a Wikipedia page. And this is a special type of knowledge that is a very human thing, that is passed vertically from generation to generation, is passed horizontally amongst your peers and your cousins, brothers, sisters. And that is the contextual clues that allow you to make the decisions that you need to make in life. And AI will never know that. No matter how clever it gets, no matter how much human information we give it, it will never have what, I don't want to call it this because it's not, but for want of a better term, gut instinct. Gut instinct. It'll never have it. It can't have it. It's artificial. It's not even intelligent. It's just a large language model. It's just got a lot of data in it, and it tries to chop down the data into reasonable points. If you give it an essay, tell it to break it down into bullet points, it can just about do that, although it fucks that up half the time, to be honest with you. The human brain is more complex than the universe we know of. Yes, Liam, it is the most complex thing we know of in the universe, the human brain. And AI, it can't come close. And you think about this in terms of if you meet someone who's really academically gifted, especially in the sciences, but has no street smarts, no emotional intelligence, no particular skills with communicating, and no empathy, you'll think less of them. You will, even if they've got all the PhDs in the world, right? PhDs coming out of their ass. It won't make any difference. You meet them and you'll think, yeah, you might have all those qualifications, you might know all that stuff, but you'll never be able to contextualize it. And that's the key. And that is where humans will always differ from AI. And this is why I am less terrified of AI than some of the other people that I've spoken to about it, who are like proper, oh my God, it's going to be the end of everything. I really don't think it's going to be. Talking about the end of everything, the US jobs market, their unemployment's just spiked up to 4.4%. Although it's lower than UK, but they have a different system over there where you can literally give someone a job and only pay them $2 an hour. That's literally a thing you can do in America. $2 an hour. You live off your tips. So it's like that episode of Black Mirror where you've got to be really nice to everyone all the time, or they don't give you a good review, and if you don't get a good review, you can't hire a fucking rental car or get on a plane or do anything. My pet theory, the Americans in particular think that other people are exactly as they imagine they are. Andy, interesting survey I saw today, right? And it was based on people in a country, how the percentage of other people in the same country that they thought were evil. And the top country in the world, this is going to come as no shock to anyone, the top country for thinking that their fellow countrymen and women are evil was the United States, and it wasn't even close. They were a mile ahead. Everyone else, it was maybe 10% of evil. America, it was 50%. They're all evil, literally evil. Americans, let me just type in, Americans think Americans are evil survey. Really interesting. Oh my God, there's only 10 minutes ago in the Washington Post. Oh my God, I'm ahead of the Washington Post here. US was the only country in the world, in a worldwide survey, to say the majority of their fellow citizens are bad people. I'm not making this up. It's in the Washington Post. You can look it up now if you want. I don't know if you can go on to, I don't know, archive.ph and have a look on that. Oh no, my computer's giving up the ghost. Damn it. Sorry, I've just had to close that because I froze because my computer's like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like it. Right, I'll just close all my internets. Obviously that's using the battery a bit too much and also using the video a bit too much. Where are we on the old time? We are 30 minutes past 5 here, so that's going to be 10:15 in the UK. We have got 25 minutes left remaining. I'm just going to close it. What does that do? Oh, that literally freezes me. I don't want to be frozen. Don't freeze me. Sorry about that. So I've got to have that running in the background. That's really annoying. Maybe if I open that a little bit. I was trying to close down all of my. Oh shit! Oh no! I don't know what I've done. I've just made it worse. Oh, that's really weird. If I just cover the Zoom call window, do you know what? No one's going to join me. No one's going to join me on this, are they? I've got an idea to try and eke out a bit more internet on here. Just give me a man after midnight. Let's have a go. OBS bot 2. Sorry, I'll be with you in a second, my friends. Okay, and then okay, where did that go? Ozbot, properties, stream camera. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Alright, let me just turn my camera off on here. Right. Hello. And then if I go properties, deactivate, activate, come on. Come on, yes. Okay, right, just bear with me for 1 second, please. I will come back to you. Right, so if I fade in there, right, I'm coming straight out of my camera now. I'm not going through Zoom, so I can close the Zoom window. Excellent. Okay, cool. Right, close that down. I can unplug that, and I guess I can unplug this. Is that done anything except? Cool. It's getting really hot, so that's obviously using just to have my headphone in. So it's obviously using power. So there you go. Let's have a go now. Let's see how much power we've got left. 21 minutes. Oh, okay. Well, that actually didn't help at all. In fact, you could argue it made the bad situation worse. But never mind. Anyway, I'll just adjust this so the white at the top is the same size as the white at the bottom. So I realised up to this point that the black on the top wasn't the same size as the black on the bottom, and it was really irritating me, but there was nothing I could really do about it. Okay, so Han Solo impressions. Do the Han Solo. The only reason the Civil War was so killy, it was all friendly fire. Yeah, the Yanks like a bit of the old friendly fire, don't they? Didn't more of our troops die in Iraq from friendly fire than they did from like hostile fire? They even bombed John Simpson. Remember John Simpson was in the. He was in the thing. You know what the word is. Convoy. He was in a convoy, clearly marked as press and the white and the Red Cross and the Red Crescent. Yeah. Volume gone up, says Diz. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Is that good? I'm going to just turn it down a little bit because I seem to be peaking. Is that better? Let me know in the chat. My concern is they're planning AI autonomous weapons to use. I mean, Diz, I know, mate, Diz, I can't even. it's just the maddest thing I could possibly imagine. And in a litany of mad things that have happened over the last few months, few years, 10 years, letting AI decide what the targets are going to be is just beyond the pale. Absolutely. This disappointment is palpable, says Diz. Good one, Graham. Carbon Night Frozen. Well done. Thank you. He's been frozen in carbonite. He should be quite safe if he survived the freezing process. SG, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Probably the last one, because I am going to have to go very, very soon by the looks of my battery power. We're up to 30 minutes now. By closing Zoom down. So it's just going to be me, I'm afraid. But by doing that, we appear to have eked out a little bit more power, which is good. SG, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Labour won by-election in Merton Ward in Durham County Council yesterday. Back from Refork with more than 50% of the vote. Yeah. Thank you so much. And also that triggered the confetti cannon as well. So thank you for triggering the confetti cannon. I'll shoot it off now. Yeah, woo! Confetti. Thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you, SG. But yeah, you're right. The Merton Ward, which isn't far from me. It's not that close, but it's not far from me in County Durham. It's gone back to Labour, as I think a lot of them will. And I know there's a big push now for the Greens, but the difference is, right, the Greens, no one thinks that the Greens are going to be in government next year, right? So no one's got a problem with voting for the Greens. It's a smart move, it really is. They're saying, look, can we get 50, 60 MPs? Like what the Dems have got. And people are like, yeah, cool, we're up for that. Whereas Refuck are saying we want to be the government, and they're introducing people on stage as the shadow Secretary of State for trade, for home services, for the home front, for the dad's army, for the fucking dad's barmy, the bollocks shite that they want to set up, and they're posturing as a government in waiting, which is ridiculous because they've only got a handful of MPs, and most of them came from another party. Actually, all of them came from another party if you go back far enough. One Angry Pig says AI reminds me of the ideas about the utility of nuclear fission in the 1950s. Absolutely bonkers ideas about what the nuclear fission could be used for, like cars. Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? Because don't forget, in the 1950s, nuclear power was seen as this amazing thing, and they used to sell kits that you could take home with you that had some radioactive material in it, and you'd leave your water in it overnight, and your water would become radioactive, and then you'd drink it in the morning, and it would give you a bit of a kick in the morning. Honestly, this stuff was a sale. Chemistry kits, chemistry kits they had for kids in the 1950s. They had radioactive materials in there. Obviously, one of the famous ones is the luminous paint that they used to have in the 50s and 60s. Luminous paint, and when people were working in these factories, were painting toys and stuff with this luminous paint, they would lick the brushes to get them wet, and. Basically, a lot of people died of mouth cancer because they were literally ingesting or putting radioactive material on their tongues. The reason why Las Vegas began, how it all started, was people went into the middle of the desert to watch the nuclear explosions going off. Las Vegas was originally called Atomic City. They would go and watch the explosions go off on the horizon. Don't forget, one of the reasons. Well, the reason why. John Wayne died was because he filmed a film called Genghis Khan, in which he played Genghis Khan, because John Wayne, why wouldn't he play Genghis Khan? So woke. And they filmed it all downwind of a nuclear testing site in Nevada or somewhere, or New Mexico in America, and it meant that literally everyone who was involved, everyone who was in, within 10, 20 years, they're all dead from cancer. But at the time, they're oh yeah, you'll be able to have nuclear-powered cars, you'll be able to have nuclear-powered aeroplanes, you'll have nuclear-powered subs, or you do have them. Nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, or we do have them. But yeah, it was infuriating. Well, I mean, it was so dangerous. The radium girls, Graham, yeah. Chemistry sets with radioactive parts, gotta love the 50s, yeah. Stomach cancer, just like Napoleon. Caroline Levitt kept referencing the Department of Defense today. When at peace, it's the Department of War. During war, it's the Department of Defense. Says Dragon. Yeah, because he's not allowed to say that he started any wars. He's got to pretend that he's never started any wars. It wasn't him who started the war. He didn't start the fire. It's always been burning since the world's been turning, apparently. Oh, apart from all the wars that he started. But he stopped all these wars. You know, the Indians and the Pakistanis are no longer throwing rockets over the border at each other. Only they are. And the Afghans and the Pakistanis, they're not throwing they're not lobbing munitions at each other over their border either, except they are. And the South Sudanese are not still having an effective war with Sudan, because Trump stopped that. Obviously, he's brought peace to the region. The people in Darfur are not being massacred by the government militia or the government forces. Sorry, the breakaway militia, which is supported by the UAE, I think, or the government militia, which I think is supported by Saudi Arabia. That's not happening. That's not happening. Cambodia and Thailand definitely not fighting each other anymore. Definitely, it's all stopped. Trump stopped it. They gave him an award and everything. It must be true. But yeah, when you look at America, right, and you see that half the people there think that the other half, over half of the people who live there are evil. I would like to have gone to that site, that article, because I'll put it into the chat there, but having multiple windows opening is running my battery down too fast, so I can't do that. But yeah, I just that kind of attitude, like that kind of feeling about your fellow countrymen and women is horrific. It's terrifying, and that's why America is the bad place. It just is the bad place. It is a paranoid, fucked up place where everyone's off their tits on drugs. Everyone's on ketamine or weed or cocaine or crystal meth or on these legal drugs that they could get. This, the fentanyl that they're all told to take. And this like drugged up, paranoid nation. So many of them suffer from psychosis and also like this various terrible personality disorders like narcissism and sociopath, being sociopathy, psychopathy. If you want to look at the stats for murder, off the charts for America. The stats for cults, people joining cults and then everybody fucking dying. America's off the charts compared with any other country in the world. Even India hasn't. India's got its ashrams and it's got its yogas who go and have sex with these Western women who come over there, and there's generally not very nice people. These people who exploit Western tourists who go over there to learn about peace and love and end up having sex with these so-called yogas. Even that it pales in comparison with all these things in America. And then you look at things like the school shootings that happen over there and they just shrug and say, oh well, never mind. When that happens in Australia, when that happens in the UK, when that happens in Thailand, when that happens in France, everyone goes ballistic and says, right, we need to change things so this never ever happens again. America's like, oh, can we go till next Tuesday before this happens again? And then when it happens next Tuesday, they go, okay, it's all right. We gave it enough time from the last high school massacre. And whenever you bring it up, they say, now's not the time. And they can always say that because you're never more than a week away from a high school massacre in America. But when Sandy Hook happened in December 2012, the Americans all got together and they decided en masse that their children's lives were worth less than their ability to own a gun. Yeah, honestly, America, more than any other country in the world, I think needs to be, control alt delete. I think they need a hard fucking reset. Maybe split the country in two. I don't know. But there is no more divided society. Oh my god, it's going really slow. This is really fun. It's because it's running out of power. I'm seeing myself on the screen. My mouth is probably not in conjunction with what I'm saying. I'm going to have to wrap it up very, very soon. I'm going to give it 4 more minutes. Listen, if this stream just stops, yeah, just chill, okay? It's nobody's fault. It's run its course and my battery's run out. Just give me 1 second. Hey, listen, there's somewhere to plug in over there. I'm going to plug in. Oh, Give me one moment. Here's the fun thing where I don't plug in fast enough. Do you ever do this on your phone? And your phone's about to run out of batteries. You don't quite plug in fast enough. Obviously I've got a British plug, so I need to get my converter out. Oh, where's my converter? Oh, cable's not really long enough. Shit, just fell out. Hang on a sec. Okay. We have got power. Yes. We did it. That was really dicey, bringing my laptop over. My camera nearly fell off. Which is fun. Woof. Okay. So I need to get me Coke. Might I go and get another Coke? Can I have a half-time break? Would that be alright? Just give me 1 second. Oh my god, it's so hot. It's going to get dark now. This is going to be my next big issue, is I'm not going to have enough light to be able to continue on with the show. Good job, I'm in a big empty restaurant. It's open till 8 o'clock, so 1 o'clock in the morning for you. Darian, to start, oh, thank you so much for the 30 bloody English pound. Thank you. You get confetti. Yeah, straight off the bat. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so very kind of you. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Darian, to start. Darian says, Graham, money to buy yourself a power bank or run to go with your Coke. Sheesh, man, you're 174 years old as of last Saturday, but modern technology is a thing, man. What, like a power bank? Like, oh shit. Like the power bank I showed you earlier? I've already got one. But it only works on my phone. I'm streaming from my laptop. And this is a gamer laptop. This is like top-end gamer laptop that can do top-end 4K video editing on it. But it's got to be plugged in. It's got to be plugged in, or like Scotty used to like to say in Star Trek, I don't have the power. But yeah. Are you worrying me now? Where is my... Where is it? Oh, it's in this bag. Yes, I know this looks like a shaver bag, but it's not. There you go. I showed that, didn't I? That they can have like 5 chargers on that, and it's got a solar panel. That's only emergency use only, really. And it's got a light on it, which is really handy. But yeah, I use that for my phone. I was using it last night. It was plugged in. Well, I thought it was plugged in. But yeah, had no power, did it. Because, right, can we just talk about plugs for a moment? American plugs are shite. They just fall out. They're just like two little teeth, sort of hanging onto the edge of a cliff, like that, you know, going, ah! And then, you breathe on them in the wrong direction, it's like, ah! And they fall out. So you go to bed, and you plug in your thing that needs to be charged for the morning, like your mobile phone, kind of important, that's got like your train tickets on it and that. And you plug it into an American plug socket, and you're like, great, the lights come on, all good, phone's charging, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, and your phone's on 2%, because it hasn't actually charged throughout the night, because the plug that you put in, it's just come out a little bit, it's just sort of hanging out of the... Yeah, I think you can get a power bank to run a laptop. If I got one to run this, like, so just to just to explain. Yeah. So I went to Liverpool once, right? I've been to Liverpool all the time, but I went to Liverpool once with this laptop, and I forgot to bring my power cable with me. And I was doing my shows. I was there for like a week. I was doing my shows for my laptop, so I really needed to get a power cable, right? And I thought, get a power cable for my laptop? Yeah? How hard could it be? Yeah, well, because it's a professional gamer laptop, it only takes a 120 watt adapter. Go find one. Go on. Find one for me, please, to arrive tomorrow. I couldn't find one online. I couldn't find one, or not one that could be posted to me the next day. I tried all the computer shops in Liverpool, called them all up and said, I need an adapter for my laptop to plug in. And they said, okay, what does it need to be? Yeah, because they're thinking I'm going to say 60 watts or something, you know, like normal. I'm like, oh, it's 120. And they're like, haha, no. Yeah, so I don't think my power bank would actually do it. There is power in the ceiling fans, that's true. Car battery or diesel generator then. Yeah, I'm going to go travelling. I'm going to go backpacking with a car battery. Because my backpack's not heavy enough. Or small nuclear reactor. There you go, Richard. Now you got getting into the swing of things. So thank you very much there. Listen, Darian, thank you so much for the £30. I'm sorry about all the noise. It's just that there's a very busy boat dock on the other side of us. If I could flip the camera around 180 degrees, which I can't do, you'll see there's like loads of people on the other side of a fence, and they're starting boat motors and going off on the boats. By frigging rum then, I wasn't being serious. okay, Darian. Here in this particular restaurant, they don't have any booze, but I have drank all my Coke, and I'm nearly all my Coke, and I'm really, really hot, and so I'm going to go and get another drink, if that's all right with you. So I'm going to leave you with the, I'm not going to leave you, I'll be back, I'm just going to get the Friday night social screen to come up. Do you want the Christmas screen? Do you want the Christmas one? Do you want the Christmas animation? Should we do that? Come on, it'll be fun. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Oh, it's Christmas. How cute is that? That's so cute. Look at this. I only used that once. Hello, I'm back. Oh, sorry, I thought it was going to stay on the end screen of that. It normally hangs on the end screen. I obviously didn't set it to end on to hang on the end screen. Well, you got to see a nice restaurant, I guess. Fans are nice to show. It's not frozen, lol. Yes, that was my plan. I thought, well, we've got a little animation going on in the background there to prove that we're still streaming. But yeah, I got some fresca. Some fresca. Look at that. Some fresca. I think it's orange. I think it's like, I think it's meant to be orange. It's not particularly orange. It's somewhere in between lemonade and orangeade. Why is Elle mad? By friggin' run then. Darian, my friend, thank you so much for the super chats. You are so generous. I'm definitely buying Mike something for his getting back to his place in in Brighton this week. When he gets back, he will have a present. And can I say that it's from between us, yeah? Between me and you, we've teamed up to get a present for Mike. I was honestly thinking of getting this particular present anyway, so that'd be really cool. And maybe on the next Friday night social, if Mike can partake, he can actually show us what it is. So that'd be really cool. And as for having some rum, I do drink rum as a rule, and I love being out in the tropics and having some rum with some coconut water, fresh out of the coconut from my island. I put the water into a cup or into a bottle or something, put it in the freezer so it's really, really cold. Doesn't go to. I take it out before it goes to ice, and then mix it with some ice, and then drink that. It's absolutely gorgeous drink. Fresh coconut water with a little bit of Abuelo rum. Fantastic stuff. There's also a rum drink that we make over here, which we call like BOCAS Baileys, which you get some of the chocolate sauce stuff from the chocolate farms around here. They sell it in like little medicine bottles, and it's like concentrated chocolate flavour. And what you get that, and then you get like I think it's a kind of like a condensed milk. Yeah. Open it up, and you pour you get a bottle. You pour, I think it's like quarter rum, the whole bottle of, what's it called? The whole can of condensed milk, and then you put the chocolate, the medicine bottle of chocolate, all of it, put it in. They give you the right amount to make like 1 litre of this particular drink in the bottle. And it makes this version of Baileys, just like rum Baileys, chocolate drink, and it is, honestly, it's just, it's heaven. It's heaven. The greatest rum I've ever drank is called Takamaka rum. I've only ever seen it. It's from the Seychelles. I've only actually seen it in the Seychelles. It's like drinking toasted marshmallows. It tastes so good. You know when you get those like hints of certain flavours in wine, or you get it in whiskey. You get like a smoky whiskey. You can have like a woody whiskey. Well, this is just like. It was amazing. It was like something they would have at the bar at the end of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It's called Takamaka rum, only available, as far as I know, in the Seychelles. If at some point for a very special birthday, if someone wants to try and import a bottle of Takamaka rum for me, I'll be made up. By the way, I'm 50 in 3 years' time. Oh my God, I'm 50 in 3 years' time. Elle says, you can put a scoop of ice cream in cola and it's lovely. You get the same effect from a bit of milk. It's called was it Coca-Cola Float? Was it called a float? Was that what it was called? But yeah. Dragons, ain't that the truth? I don't know. MasterChef Social. Thank you. Well, it's more cocktail. Spinning bottles and stuff. It's not spinning bottles, holding the bottle and holding the other one like this, really carefully so you don't spill it all over your hand. Invest in a funnel. That's what I say. I don't know where we were in the chat. We probably just second live stream. I've been an hour late to today. Says Graham. Well, I wasn't late. I was pretty much bang on time, which was incredible considering. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, but I had a little bit of a journey getting to this point, running around hardware stores and supermarkets and getting all the stuff, and then just literally legging it down the road, trying to find some dim sums, trying to find some shumai. And then finding somewhere to. This is great. This is a great little place. This is the Teacher's restaurant. Diz says, I'm 60 in July. Oh wow, Diz, you don't look it, so that's good. You look a lot younger than that. I did not think that you were over 10 years older than me when we met. What else have we got going on here? I'm 60 in 2 months, so my son gleefully told me tonight, says Martin. Well, don't worry, if you're 60 in 2 months, that means you were born in 1966, which means that you are officially Generation X, so you're not a boomer. So when I slag off boomers, I'm not including you in that. Now I'm going to get shit in the chat for the people I am including in that. Sorry, apologies. I remember 60, says Doc Davis. Who's the youngest here? I'm 32 myself. I think it's probably One Angry Pagan, isn't it? Isn't it? So I've got a question for One Angry Pagan, and we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but I was thinking about this today, because I think I was talking about gods, wasn't I, and how ridiculous the Bible is. And how we look at other people's cultures and go, oh, that's a silly thing to do. And it's like, is it? Is it? Comparatively, is it silly? Tell me more about, nailing people to trees, like what the Christians did. Had done to them, I guess. What I want to ask about is, when I think of, and this is my own ignorance here, so I'm not having a go or anything, this is my own ignorance. And I don't want anyone being mean in the chat or, disrespectful, okay, so keep everything respectful. But I always thought that, like, paganism was to do with the worship of the sun and the moon, and the old religions of what's now the United Kingdom are pre-Roman invasion, pre-Viking invasion, pre-Norman invasion, right? But from what One Angry Pagan puts in the chat, it's clear that One Angry Pagan's religion is the Nordic religion. It's the Norse gods. So I just wanted to know what the difference is, and whether is like paganism a catch-all term for a group of different faiths, or am I just reading it wrong? Am I just an idiot? Just let me know in the chat. In as few words as possible, because obviously you need to be able to fit it into the chat. But if you just explain that one to me, because I don't get it. Andy says, well, pet theory, Christianity is so that Jews could carry on with their cult because they really annoyed the Romans. Christianity is so the Jews could carry on with their cult because they really annoyed the Romans. Yeah, but then why are they still Jews? That makes no sense. I think that Christianity was just a good way of keeping people in line, and it did. You got to think about the fall of the Roman Empire. What, about like 400 AD, right? The final fall. And I know it was falling for hundreds of years. But then you had the Holy Roman Empire, which was kind of nominally Christian. And then you had like 1,000 years more before people started questioning the status quo. And like, what a wonderful way to keep everyone in line is just tell them, oh, you got to be good, because otherwise God will get angry at you and send you to burn for eternity. Oh, by the way, the person in charge, your king, they were chosen by God to be their representative on earth, and so was the Pope. So you need to do what they say, or you're actually not just going against your leader or going against the Pope. You're actually going against the creator of the universe himself. I mean, as a tool of social manipulation, I think I've got my own theory about the creation of Judaism we know it came from Egypt because the Israelites were enslaved by the Egyptians. It's noted in the book of Exodus, the second book of the Bible. So this is like very early on. It's like Genesis, Garden of Eden, the Ark, and it's like straight into Egypt, right? And so these people are like, we want to leave Egypt. Why? Because we want to be able to practice our faith, and the Egyptian ruler, Ramesses II, won't let us, right? So Moses said, let my people go, and Moses said, the Ramesses says no. And so God decides to kill all the babies, because that's something that, that's something a reasonable person would do. What I find really interesting about it is that the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh Akhenaten, and his wife Nefertiti had their own religion that was an offshoot of the old gods of Egypt. But instead of having lots of different gods like Isis and Osiris and Anubis and all that, and Ra, they only had one god, and it was the god of light, and the Aten, Aten. And Akhenaten changed his name to become King Akhenaten, changed his name as follower of Aten. And he built an entire city. And it was only because Tutankhamun, his heir, maybe his son, maybe his grandson, we don't know, he was only a child, and by all accounts he was a sickly child. And when he got into charge, they'd lived for a few decades under this new religion religion worshipping, this cult worshipping the Atan, this one god, monotheism, the birth of monotheism that we know of. And it was about, and so the priests and the people, the religious clergy types back in ancient Egypt put a lot of pressure on young Tutankhamun to restore the old gods, to restore the old religion, which he did. And then he died very young. And then, Egypt continued on as it did before, after this sort of blip where instead of having polytheism, it just had monotheism, right? The really interesting thing is that Ramesses ruled only a few decades, Ramesses II of the Bible ruled only a few decades after that event. I think it was like 50, 60 years or something. Someone could look it up through the annals, through the history. But it's just long enough for like a proper cult to start, where none of the members of the cult can actually remember the start of the cult, but it's been passed down from father to son, from mother to daughter. And by then you would have quite a few people, maybe a few thousand, maybe a few tens of thousands of people who were still following the Aten cult, kind of in secret. And then, some events happen, they told they're not allowed to work, they're discriminated against, that whatever, and they say, right, we're leaving, and they run away and they find somewhere else to live. But they wandered in the desert for 40 years. Like, obviously, they didn't have it in their heads from the get-go, we need to go to the promised land, we need to go to this particular place of milk and honey. And I don't know if you've been to Israel or Palestine. I have. And I didn't see much milk in the supermarket, and I certainly didn't see any honey. It's not exactly the breadbasket of West Asia by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite rocky. And like Badlands, it's not like a green and pleasant land. It's quite dry and arid, and it's got a big dead lake down one side of it, which it shares with its neighbour Jordan, called the Dead Sea, a big dead lake with no life in it at all, because it's got too much salt in it. I don't know, that's my theory anyway. So I think that the roots of Christianity, and therefore the roots of also Islam, which date back to the days of the Hebrew religion, came from Egypt. Makes sense to me. It was an offshoot of the religion that was practiced in Egypt. Right, so One Angry Pagan has replied. Thank you very much, One Angry Pagan, for humouring me. These days, paganism tends to refer to polytheistic belief systems and cultures that span both Celtic and Germanic beliefs, though Hellenic and Roman beliefs can be included too. Okay, so it is an umbrella term for various beliefs. Okay, I myself am an Anglo-Saxon, German, heathen, pagan. Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to know, because like, in my head, like the religion that makes the most sense to me is what I would call like old school paganism, like the worship of the sun and moon, which isn't exclusive to what's now England by any stretch of the imagination. That's something that happened in ancient societies all over the world. Don't forget Ra, the main god of the Egyptian religion, was the sun god. It was his chariot that was being pushed by a massive invisible dung beetle through the sky, which was the sun. Yeah, maybe it makes sense. Like the sun and moon, if without them we wouldn't be here. That's it. End of. I mean, I don't think they want to be worshipped, but if you're going to say thanks to anyone, you may as well say thanks to the sun and moon, because literally we would not be here had the sun not been providing us with with power, unlimited power, for the last 4 billion years, and for the next 100 billion. The moon protects us from loads of things that want to try to, destroy us. Destroy us from the outer spaces. All of the meteorites. No, not meteorites. So they go through the atmosphere, are they? All the meteors, all of the asteroids that want to crash into the Earth, they tend to hit the moon's orbit, because the moon's quickly going around the Earth, having a fucking great old time, and it tends to suck into its orbit towards it like a big vacuum cleaner in space. It sucks in all these rocks that are going through space. So instead of them hitting the Earth, they hit the moon instead. It's like our shield. It's like this amazing shield. And from our perspective, it's the exact same size as the sun, which means we have total solar eclipses. And a lot of people like to tell us, like, there's X many billion trillion stars in the universe, right? And each one of them could have a planet going around them, and each one of them could be whatever. But the reality is that, like, the chances of having a satellite that is the exact size from the surface of the satellite of the star that your planet is orbiting in the Goldilocks zone of habitableness, and it completely blocks out the sun. That is just mind-blowing. It won't for much longer, in another few million years it will no longer block out the sun because the moon is moving away from us. Gradually moving away. It's gradually fucking off, by a quarter of an inch a year or something mad. But by the time it gets to a certain distance, we will never have a total solar eclipse anymore on Earth, or whichever, whatever intelligence still exists in a million years' time. I don't think it's going to be humans because there's too many stupid people. Intelligent life was destroyed by stupid people. Someone needs to carve that into a fucking diamond, like a slab of diamond, and then, like, I don't know, put it on the top of the Great Pyramid of Giza. So when the next civilization rises, or when aliens come to visit, they'll say, what happened to these people? They seem so intelligent. And it's like, yeah, we let the dickheads run amok. Because what we decided that it wasn't very politically correct or woke to call someone a fucking dickhead. That was the thing that they could say to us. They could say the most horrific things to us. They could use proper, ableist slurs at us. And that was fine. But we couldn't use them back at them. I'm not saying that we should. I'm just saying, all things aren't equal. In Germanic cultures, namely Norse, the goddess Sol, Sunna, represents the sun, and Mani is the moon. Oh, I miss Mani. See, the new moonshot has been abandoned, says Pete's Music. Yeah, no surprise there. I mean, they were relying on Elon Musk. I've got a friend, and they won't be watching this, so it's cool, right? And even if they were watching this, they might not know that I'm talking about them. I've got a friend who is the most unreliable person I've ever met in my entire life. They're someone who you organise to go out, you organise to go for a meal, you organise for a party, you organise for something, and they will always say, oh yeah, I'll definitely be there, I'll see you there, even so far as saying, I'm on my way. And 9 times out of 10, they don't turn up. I'm still friends with them because I kind of expect them to do this now. I've known them for many, many years. It's fine. I'm not precious about that kind of stuff. I organise things all the time. It's just, one of those things in life. I'm sure we all have a friend who does this. Flaky as fuck, right? Elon Musk is that friend of mine, just on another level. On an absolute other level. And these dickheads who put their faith in them to turn up to the fucking party, they literally put their life savings on the line. They go, I bet they'll turn up. I'm like, well, the last 999 times we had the party, they didn't turn up. Do you think that this time that they will? They'll definitely. Here's all the money I own. And it's like, you're really going to die on this hill, or at least go bankrupt on this hill? And they're like, yes, I absolutely am. And I'm just sitting there going, are you out of your mind? And a fool and their money are soon parted, and that's why God invented cryptocurrency and NFTs. Anyone invested in an NFT? Because you're not invested in me. Listen, I'll give you a better return on your investment, right? There's anyone out there who instead of wants to buy, right, a little fucking monkey picture, a JPEG, a low-res JPEG of a fucking monkey for $1 million, right? Tell you what, give me $1 million and I will give you back $1 billion. I will give you, I'm not shitting you on that. I have the ideas, I have the contacts, I have everything I need except the fucking money. Go on, give it to me. But no, they don't want to invest in me. They can't trust people. You can only trust cryptocurrency, NFTs, AI, and Elon Musk every time. And they keep falling for it. So NASA fell for it. NASA and the American government went, yeah, all right, Elon, yeah, I've seen your rockets. You seem to know what you're doing. Yeah, we'll go to the moon with you. And then the moonshot, the American moonshot, was completely reliant on Elon Musk delivering whatever the fuck he had to deliver. It was a big rocket, wasn't it, or something? And he's completely failed to do that. He's too busy running around taking money, shutting down US aid and forcing babies to die painfully of AIDS. Taking £1 million, as in the weight, £1 million of food that was supposed to go to starving people in Mozambique, in Sudan. And they let it rot instead. Millions of pounds worth of medicine, vaccinations that were supposed to go to save lives in Africa, across Asia, across the Pacific, across South America, the Caribbean. He was too busy doing that and promoting his shite cars, his swastika, prancing around, doing a Hitler salute. Fool me once, shame on me. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, honestly, like, if you're an easily fooled person, if you're that credulous that you honestly believe, after all the evidence of your eyes and ears, that person's still going to come to the fucking party, and you're waiting for them. It doesn't matter that everyone else has turned up, that everyone else is having a good time. You're sitting in the corner, checking your phone every 5 seconds to see if they're going to send a message to tell you that they can't make it. Even just let you know. No, they're not going to do that. Not till the next day. Come on. Why would you actually tell someone you're not going to turn up to their party? That they're literally waiting for you to turn up at? That you literally texted, I'll be there in an hour. Some people are just like that. And do you know what? You can either know that they're going to do that and plan accordingly. So if there's, you're booking a restaurant, you just don't get a seat for them on the grounds that, generally speaking, if you go to a restaurant and you book it for 8 people, right, and 9 people turn up, they'll just get an extra chair. Do you know what I mean? Just, they're not going to turn your whole party away and say, oh no, there's one extra person, you can't come in. Not that I generally go to restaurants where you actually have to book to turn up. It's a bit too expensive for me. But yeah, I just hope that Iran has never heard of the Australian mousepox experiment. Oh God. I'm not flaky. I do intend to attend things, but sometimes cold feet and can't do it, says Martin. Yeah, listen, like I say, this person is still my friend, a good friend of mine, and we have some really good times together. I just do not expect them to turn up to stuff. I know what they're like, Elon Musk has shown who he is like. Nigel Farage has shown everyone what he's like. Donald Trump has shown everyone what he's like. And yet some people are like, no, he's going to pull through this time. This time he'll really pull through. Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember the movie Parenthood? And one of the kids in it was just an absolute fucking nightmare. And the parents, he was in loads of debt and he was taking drugs and stuff. And they're like, no, you got to clear yourself up. And I've got a job set up for you. And you got to do this and that. And we'll pay off your debts. And the next day he just fucking leaves, just fucks off. Do you remember that from Parenthood? And you watch that and you're kind of pained. But you know what? I understand that. Because they're the parents it's their kid, it's their flesh and blood. And you do. And do you know what? I wouldn't fault someone for doing that. But when it's someone that you don't even know, that you have this, what's the word for it? Sociopathic relationship? No, socio-parasitic relationship. No, parasocial, that's the one. Parasocial relationship with. There's someone that doesn't know who you are, never met you. And look, I know there's quite a few, they're just having a game over there. Don't worry, no one's being murdered. I know there's a few of you out there who I haven't met in real life, but I tell you what, there's a load of people in this chat who I have met in real life. They come to one of my talks, or we've met up in London, or we're going to a gig together or something. And so that sort of relationship that I want on this is not supposed to be a parasocial relationship. If I had the money, if we had twice as many viewers on our shows and therefore twice as many super chats, I would totally once a month do a show live out somewhere in a pub or in a cafe somewhere. In the UK, I'll move it around once a month. I'll totally do that. I'll be totally up for that. And meet people. Meet the people in the chat. They could come to the pub with us. But it's just not practical at the moment because it would cost so much money. Because it costs £759 to just go 10 minutes down the road on the fucking trains these days. But yeah, I even that, right? I wouldn't expect anyone on here, right, who's not met me in real life, who, doesn't have that relationship with me, isn't a busy mate or whatever, to go, oh, do you know what, Graham? I like watching you on the internet. Here you go. Have £500,000. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't. I'd be like, can we slow down? Can we slow down? Maybe, let's hang out for a little bit. And then in 6 months' time, if you still want to give me that money, you absolutely can. But I'm not going to take it off someone who barely knows me. I'd feel awful. I'd feel really bad. I'd feel like, because my imposter syndrome would kick in. I wouldn't feel like I could really live up to the investment, live up to the trust that someone had placed in me. And then you look at what's happened with Brewdog. And James Watt's fucking off with all that fucking money. All those people who invested so much in his fucking punk, rock, Eurofizz, whatever. I mean, not great. What exactly is an NFT? They make no sense, says James Horner. Thank you very much, James, and thank you for setting off the confetti cannon. That is very awesome of you, thank you. So NFT is a non-fungible token, as in it's something that you can't actually hold in your hands. So if something's fungible, it's a weird word. It means it's something you can hold in your hand. So this can of Fresca is this is fungible, right? Whereas a picture on the internet that's just made of pixels is not fungible, and fungible, spongible, fungal infection, non-fungible infection token. And so what they did was they got these JPEGs, and they combined part of the whole con with cryptocurrency is that you get this special code that comes with that particular JPEG that's absolutely unique, and no one else can have that same code with that particular JPEG. But the JPEG is freely available to anyone who wants it on the internet, so you can't own that. And also, a lot of these NFTs, they didn't even have a unique code. Someone else could make another code, and then they could claim that they had the code for their NFT, and there was no way of checking because it was unregulated. So essentially, people lost millions of pounds, mostly American nepo babies and dickheads. They spent millions on these pictures of apes, on literal JPEGs of apes on the internet. Not even a vector graphic that you could zoom into, you could blow it up massive and it would look boss. Not even that, just a lowly JPEG. True story. What does JPEG stand for? Joint Picture Expert Group, was that it? I think MPEG was Motion Picture Expert Group, wasn't it? And GIF, which is pronounced GIF, according to the person who invented it, is like graphics interface, graphical interface format, I think. And I think PDF is portable document format. I'm not sure. But I know that laser is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. And NASA is National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And I could go on. Honestly, if you get me on my acronyms, I'll be here all fucking day. Charity is not only a Christian idea. Ever heard of the old English pagan cultural tradition of thrift, the one that welcomes a stranger at the door and then offers them food and shelter without recompense? Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Buddhism exists. The Buddha, Master... not Buddha, Confucius, Master Kong, he said, do unto others as you would like other people to do to you. And Buddha then came along and said, I don't know who said it first, whether it was Buddha or whether it was Confucius, but he said, don't do to someone else anything that you would find repugnant. And then Jesus said, do unto others as you would like them to do to you. It's not an original idea because otherwise societies can't function. Before Richard Dawkins turned into a big turfy twat, he did a show where he was like talking to Christians. I think it was called like the what's it called? It's like the Wages of Sin or something. And he did this show, and he had a good point in it. It's like maybe it was Christopher Hitchens. It was one of them, and he said, Could you imagine, like, Moses going up to the top of Mount Sinai, right? And getting the Ten Commandments and looking at them and going, oh, you shouldn't kill each other. Shit, didn't know. And coming down the mountain, hey, lads, listen. They're all worshipping the golden calf at this point, if you know your Bible. But, lads, listen up. What? We're not supposed to kill each other. Oh, fuck. We're not supposed to kill each other. I've already killed like 7 of my neighbours this morning. You could have told us. Well, apparently the news from the big man up in the sky, who spoke to me through a burning bush, possibly, because a bush never goes on fire in the desert. He said we shouldn't kill each other, and I'm like, wow, mate, Jesus, wow, that's mind blowing, and my mind is seriously blown. And then what blows my mind even more is that for centuries later, anthropologists would, or treasure seekers or questers, adventurers would travel the world and find these tribes in the deepest, darkest Amazon rainforest, or in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, or on the Andaman Islands on the south coast of India. And they find these uncontacted tribes. And they're like, hey up. And they're like, hiya. And he goes, do you know that you shouldn't kill each other? And they all look at each other and go, yeah. We actually it's funny you should say that, because we have a rule about that. Like, if you kill someone for no reason, then you get into trouble for it. How did they know? How did they work that one out? I have no idea. Anyway, just mad, innit? Confucius also said everything worth discovering already has been. That's true. All you need is love. Absolutely, all religions have charity, compassion, and connection at their core. Reverend Kathy, they're supposed to. Well, they do. They actually do. But some people just use them to take the piss, don't they, unfortunately. Since the beginning of society, a form of charity will have existed. Yeah, absolutely. And might be a word starting with R. Not kill each other. Yeah. But then, the whole thing about not killing each other, it didn't extend to the neighbouring tribe, did it? Whether that was another Israelite tribe in the Old Testament, or whether it was another tribe in the next, town along in Papua New Guinea, or whether it was a tribe on a different island, if you were in Fiji and someone came over from Samoa. Then you were fair game. But most of us live in a country where they actually hung a monkey because they thought that it was a French spy. So we can't get too full of ourselves, I don't think. Seems logical. Turns out reasons are an easy thing to invent. It is indeed. So, my friends, I am going to have to go, and the reason I'm going to have to go is quite simply it's getting dark, and I don't have much light on me, and I've got to stay close to the cable. Now, listen, I did bring my light with me, so I could light myself up and continue on, but I am in a public place, and I think it'll be a bit weird, because it's already weird enough that I've got a webcam and I've got my microphone down here, right? I think it'll be even more weird if I put a big fuck off light on my face, and then, I don't know, it might be a bit upsetting for the other patrons of this fine restaurant establishment. So, I am going to head off now. It is just 10 minutes past 11 in the UK, so I think we did quite well, considering it was just us. It was just me and our wonderful socialites in the chat. If you'd like to join our socialites in the chat for future shows, if you're watching this on catch up, please just hit the subscribe button, and then you can add stuff to the chat, and you can change the course of history just with your comments, because I could be coming to talk about one thing and then you make me talk about something else. You don't know what's going to happen. It's all the wings of a butterfly or something. Butterflies and hurricanes. P-Dolph Twitter is is a news conf now. Looking at him, it really looks like the big beautiful day could be any. P-Dolph Twitler. It looks like the big beautiful day could be any time now. Yeah. He does look like he's dying. It does look like he's on his way out. He does look like he's circling the drain, like he's fading. He's fading fast. He's going into that bad night. He is going into that bad night, and when he does, I'm going to have such a fucking party. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever been as drunk as I will be when it happens. Oh my god. It's gonna be the party for the ages. It's gonna make the Y2K. It's going to make the Millennium parties pale into insignificance. You are going to see the entire population of the world, apart from a couple million fucking crazy sociopathic Americans, just breathe a collective sigh of relief as that monster, that mountain of mad flesh, that Benito fucking Mussolini gobshite, Cheeto fucking Jesus, not Jesus, Cheeto fucking Hitler, you know, fucking orange Voldemort. Sorry, noisy fucking boats. They're outboard fucking motors. Trying to do a show here. George only £5 super chat, which I think is going to be the last super chat of the evening, and I didn't set up the confetti, so there you go. Have a confetti. Everyone gets a confetti. You get a confetti. You get a confetti. Everyone who dropped the super chat in tonight gets a confetti. Graham, I hope one day my relationship with you become a lot more than parasocial. Says George. Yeah, well, hopefully that would be the plan, that we get to meet up. Everyone gets to meet up at some point when it comes down to, you know, do a show in Devon, meet up with One Angry Pagan, do a show in London, meet up with people because loads of people can get to London, do a show in you know, I've done shows in Manchester with other friends from the channel. I've done shows in Manchester before when I was doing the Three Blokes in the Pub with Terry Christian and that. So yeah, it's what I want to do. When I set up this channel it's been 3 years now, as Labour Social, one of the things that I had in my head that once a month we would have these monthly meetups where we would do a Friday night social somewhere in the UK. But unfortunately it hasn't turned out that way. Just because of the limitations of income and expenditure. Isn't it always the way? But yeah, if anyone does want to give me £500,000, that would be great. But yeah, hang out with me a bit first, all right? Just don't just. And I'm talking to you every day. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually having a conversation. If you write something, I read it out, and you know, we have a bit of banter about it. You know, we have a chat. And then these people who worship Trump and they worship Farage and they worship Elon fucking Musk. He wouldn't even fucking. He would never give them the time of day. You know, he wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. No. Anyway, do one in Liverpool, says Martin Howard. I've done one in Liverpool. I'm doing another one in Liverpool in September. Short but sweet tonight, but good to see so many friends. Good night and take care of all. I think we've done all right. We've done 2 hours. Well, nearly 2 hours. We've done 1 hour and 43 minutes. So that's all right. That's all right, isn't it? 40 minutes. If anyone wants to give me £500,000, feel free, says Diz. Reports in the US that Russia is providing Iran with intelligence about the location of US ships and planes. Who the funked it? Not Donald Trump, because he's busy mates. He's busy mates with you know, that who's that gobshite? Oh yeah, Vladimir Putin. Yeah. How's that going for you, Trumpy? How's that going for you? Scott texted me to say, I'm sorry, I had dinner and laid down and totally fell asleep. That's okay. I'll just put, haha, no worries, next time gadget. Now, he might not get that joke. I hope he does. He's old enough, but is he? I don't know. They had Inspector Gadget in America, didn't they? It was an American show. They definitely had him Inspector Gadget. He'll get that. He'll know what I'm talking about. Do you know what the worst is, right? You know when you text someone and you text them like a quote from a movie or a TV show, cartoon or something, and just being funny, and you think they're going to get that it's a quote, and then they go, what do you mean by that? And you're like, oh, it's from a film. And you're in trouble. Yeah, don't do that. So yeah, thanks Darian, you two are awesome. Darian is awesome. Good night everyone, you're brilliant. I've laughed so much, my Fridays are so much better because I know you people are here. Darian, I feel exactly the same way about you and everybody else in the chat. You are absolute bloody legends. Thank you so much for being with me over the last 3 years. We're coming up to our 3rd anniversary of this channel, which is amazing, and I'm coming up to the 12th anniversary of me coming to BOCAS for the first time in March of 2014 after winning this island thing in a game show. If you want to learn more about that, go to gingerisland.com, and there's a whole blog about it with loads of pictures and stuff about me, how I won the island and what it was like to live here for 3 years. So if you want to have a look at that, you are very welcome to. It's Ginger, spelled Jinja. And until next time, I'm going to say thanks very much for watching. I'll try and be back tomorrow morning at 8 if I can. My time, which will be 1 o'clock for you. If I'm going to be a bit later, I might just leave a message in the message thing, whatever it's called, the posts on here online, on that thing that we do. What's that thing that we do? YouTube. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, brain. We're going to. So I'll let you know. But I'm going to try and do a show tomorrow. I want to do a show, at least one show every day that I'm here, and hopefully more than one. I want to have like a show in the morning for me where I'm like, okay, let's talk about what's happening in the news a little bit. Let's just have a chat, really. And then during the daytime, I want to at least do one video of me or Ishmael like doing some stuff on the island, whether it's knocking down a chicken coop or doing something. If I can get signal to do that, I will. And then in the evening, when I go down to the boat dock, or I'm in the house because it's raining, I want to do an evening show, like a midnight hour thing, midnight mass, a midnight massacre. What do you reckon? Should we do a show called Midnight Massacre? Oh, no, I'll put me on red list, wouldn't it? I'll be in trouble. Right, so what building or destroying? We're going to be taking out the bodega at the bottom of the garden, but I'm not going to do that until I've got good enough internet down there, so I'm going to try and buy myself a mobile phone signal booster unit, and then I'll have that down there, and I'll be able to boost the signal from the thing. You know, the thing with the stuff, you know what I mean? The booster signal from the mobile phone mast, which is a couple of miles away. So I don't have the situation where I'm in my house, right, on the island, and I'm standing just beyond the door, and I've got signal. I step back into the house, and I lose signal. It's so infuriating and crazy. So if we can sort that out, then we'll be able to broadcast from anywhere on the island, and I'll be able to show you around the island a bit better than I've been able to do in the past. It's always got quite pixelated and a bit shit when I've tried to do it live, so that should be really fun. And I've got a better phone camera now, so if I want to zoom in, it's a lot better picture if I want to zoom in, so I should be able to do that if I want to show you any animals or insects or birds or, you know, whatever's flying about doing crazy shit on the island. I'll be able to draw you into that as well. So usually 2, maybe sometimes 3 shows in a day. We'll have the show in the early afternoon, we'll have the show in the evening time when it'll just be random and it'll just be me doing something on the island that you might find interesting, you might not. And then in the evening we're going to try and do a sort of just a wind down show around midnight. So if any of you are still up, any night owls, because you don't have to get up early now to watch my show in the morning, I'd love to have you joining us. Anyway, so we're coming up to 1 hour 46 minutes now on the clock, so I think that is time for me to bid my adieu. I've still got to do some more shopping now, and then head back to the island before it gets dark in approximately 20 minutes. So wish me luck, and until we see each other again, just let me say thank you so much for the super chats, especially Darian DeStar, mate, the mega chats, and that is just so generous of you. Thank you so much. You are an absolute legend, my friend, and I'll definitely sort that out for Mike on Monday, I think, so he'll get it on Tuesday. Yeah, the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining in with the chat, and until I see you again, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.